It's so difficult to make tortillas at home. Just leave it to these people, they're pros. It can be Taco Tuesday in your house any night of the week with these delicious beef barbacoa tacos. It is so simple, it's a one-pot meal, and it comes together really quickly, and then you just pop it in the oven. So here I have some beef chuck, stewing beef. So here we are, it's about 2 pounds. I'm gonna season it liberally with some salt and pepper, and then we're just gonna heat it on a high heat just to get that sear. I like to use either a scan pan, a cast iron, or a heavy bottom pot with a tight fitting lid. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add some grapeseed oil, let this heat up, and we're just gonna sear each side of the beef so it gets a nice crust on it. So once my pan is nice and hot, I'm just gonna pop these in single file, and we just wanna watch it. It won't take very long, maybe 5 minutes or so, just so each side is brown. And if your pan is not big enough, feel free to just do it in stages. All right, so this is the sear and the kind of color we're looking for. Just that nice crust, so it'll add a little bit of texture after we're braising it. So now our beef is all nice and browned. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the remaining beef that I set aside back to the same pan. I don't wanna lose any of those delicious drippings. So in a separate measuring cup, I have garlic, chipotle and adobo, wine vinegar, cumin, and oregano. I've just blended these all in a food processor. I also have a 1/4 cup of orange juice for that sweetness. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add this all directly to the pan. I also have 2 cups of beef stock. I'm going to stir that and add that to that same pan. So now this is done. I'm gonna add a lid to it, add our bay leaf, and I'm gonna put it in the oven at 325 for about 3 to 3.5 hours. So I had one in the oven, so it's ready to go. It's been in there for about 3.5 hours. As you can see, it is perfect. So what I like to do, there might be a little bit of liquid in there, which is fine because when you pull the meat, it's all just gonna fall apart. I don't like to shred it too thin. I like to have kind of chunks of meat. I find it's a bit nicer to get that texture. I'm just gonna shred this, and then we're gonna get our tortillas cooked. So I have a skillet on here, and I'm gonna put it to medium high. I love these tortillas. It's a local producer. It's called Lida's. You can find them in the frozen section at the Gourmet Warehouse, along with a variety of other foods. These are raw tortillas, so you do have to cook them. They puff up beautifully as if they're fresh. I cannot go back to regular tortillas. So they come frozen. What I like to do is keep them at room temp for about half an hour, because if you don't, they're gonna be really difficult to peel. So just gently, gently. So you're gonna put them in a dry skillet, and you're gonna watch it kind of puff up, and then we're gonna flip it and do the same on the other side. And you can see that it's kind of bubbling, which is so cool because it's so difficult to make tortillas at home. Just leave it to these people. They're pros and they taste delicious. So we're gonna flip it, and you see that char and it's gonna bubble. It's about 60 seconds on each side. So what I like to do is I just put them in a little tea towel and fold them over to keep them warm. I like to serve these with cotija cheese. It's an aged Mexican cheese made from cow's milk. It's very crumbly. So I like to serve family style, just kind of plate it all here. You can do the radishes like that, the cabbage like this. I have some limes here. So we have our warm tortillas, and this is how I would suggest serving it. So we're just gonna I'm gonna take this lid off, add our beef, some cojita, some cabbage, and I like the raw cabbage and radish. It adds a really nice crunch. I like to just wedge the Av, hit it with a squeeze of lime, and you are good to go. We have cilantro on the side if you want a little green on there. And there you go. This is the perfect taco night meal. It's fun, it's interactive, and it's super simple. I hope you get a chance to try this at home.